Hello everybody, Anthony from SteamFirst.com here, and today we're playing Cloudbuilt. Cloudbuilt is a fast-paced, free-running parkour them up that was just brought out on Steam on the 20th of March. We're going to be taking a look at it in a video, but first I'm going to take a look at the main menu like I always do. I know I've kind of neglected to do that in the past couple of videos, and I feel kind of bad for that. So we're just going to do it this one. We're going to start doing that again. We have 4 buttons here. Continue your game options, exit. We're going to look at the options like always. We could see on the front page, there's we can adjust our mouse settings. Just a word of warning, the mouse sensitivity by default is pretty high. It's not all the way up here like most games, but I think it's around here by default. And I hope both of my mouse was showing. If my mouse isn't showing, it was about here by default. And I brought it down to here while I played. Yeah. And I'm also using a Razer mouse, the Naga 2014 to be specific, and I can go right into Razer Synapse and adjust my sensitivity there, which I actually ended up having to do as well because the sensitivity is pretty high. I also played with the axes inverted, and I don't know why everything got reset, but it did. Same with this stuff. Anyway, we have a video. We can adjust the resolution. I don't know why it started me here when I should be like... that's the biggest it goes. That's the closest to my screen, I guess, but we'll leave it here so I don't have to go through that whole thing. Windowed mode, so it's easier to record, and in case I need to tab out easier. I'm only using one monitor. Again, I have VSync off. FPS lock is at 120. You can adjust this, the FPS lock, obviously, and you can... I like it at 60, but I guess 120 is good. Same with this, you can adjust everything here. So that's good. You have a really wide array of things you can actually customize as far as options go, which is good. Like this, for instance, the draw distance. You could have that like as you want. So you could have like your effects and light draw distance, or draw distance as a whole. And that's really good to kind of have that type of control. I guess if you don't have like as good as a machine as most people do, or if you're playing this on a laptop, then you can do that. Texture quality, you can adjust this. It starts at very low, medium, high, and then anisotropic filtering, which I just left at default. That goes up to 16. So yeah. Audio, which is the basic kind of audio customization things, master game music, and yeah, it's pretty. That of course everything started like back here, but then I made it pretty low. Controls. This is the whole control scheme right here. This is everything. And it is all rebindable, and I don't know what that was bound to, so we're just going to have to do that. But yeah, everything here is bindable, so you can rebind every key. And yeah, so there you go. That's the options customization thing here, and we will jump into some gameplay. I will see you guys in a second. Hello everybody, Anthony from SteamFirst.com here. Welcome back to Cloudbuilt. If Sonic and Mirror's Edge were to have a baby and the artists from Borderlands were to paint it, it would be this, essentially. Cloudbuilt is a fast-paced parkour them up that follows Demi, a young veteran of war in a mental rehabilitation who's just trying to regain control of her own mind by completing a series of challenging trials put forth by her own imagination. Sounds interesting, huh? As you progress through the stages, more and more of the story is told, and more about Demi is revealed, which leads up to 4 different endings, and I'm not going to spoil any of those, like I said in the beginning bit of the video. I'm only going to keep the first level in here, just to avoid being really spoilerific with the thing, so yeah. Anyway, the level design is amazing. Each level has its own theme and an array of obstacles and enemies that progressively get harder and harder as you progress through the games. I'm not a fan of these types of games at all. I mean, I hated Sonic and Mirror's Edge, but regardless, the levels here are absolutely beautiful, and that was enough to get me to finish the game at least once. There are really well done everything from the minor aesthetic things like the cracks in the walls or little rivets and bolts on the more mechanical looking levels, to the lighting and shading. It really does look like a professional production, and that is really nice. I applaud the developers on that. It's a really fast-paced game that does require a lot of precision and accuracy, and like I said in the beginning bit, The sensitivity is really high by default, and I actually have to go into my mouse's software to adjust that. And yeah, it's just a heads up for people playing the game. It might just be a minor thing on my end, but just in case, a quick heads up for you guys. That's actually my only issue with the game. The controls are really nice. The controls are really nice. The game itself looks really nice. The story's good. And yeah, there's not really too many complaints there. One thing that's just kind of a nitpicky thing, like I tend to have every video, is that it's kind of bright. The game's too bright in places. The lighting's too much, but that can be adjusted, I think. One thing that really stood out to me was the artwork and the soundtrack. You could probably see that the artwork is somewhat reminiscent to Borderlands, and even kind of the Walking Dead video games a little bit. It really is nice and detailed, and that lovely art style that I always say I love so much. The artwork is great. I mean, the soundtrack is great as well. Sorry, it's a nice retro-sounding soundtrack that really goes amazingly well with the game. Surprisingly, there's a lot of detail that obviously went into this, both the art and sound, and well, the game as a whole. Really, like I mentioned above with the level design, so much detail was put into the artwork, like the shading and the line work and stuff along those lines. As much detail was put into the sound design as well. When Demi's close to a ledge or a missile turret, she sounds scared or kind of afraid. And when you stop running, she sounds tired. And in the middle of using your boosters, she sounds scared as well. I mean, all this, the story progression, sound effects, like the small little details like that make her seem like a real person, and that makes this experience a lot better. Just a quick little added on thing, the UI is also really easy to use. They're actually, in the sense that there isn't a UI, when you're playing as Demi's subconsciousness, you can use a computer little database in the room, and that's about as much of UI as there really is, so that's also really nice. That's about it for this video. I mean, overall, or for this review, sorry. Overall, the game is really good. It just came out the 20th of March. I'm sure there's a lot more that can be done. I'm not a fan of the genre, but kept playing solely because of how pretty the game is. And that I can never stand to give on something as simple as a game. I've completed every level last night. I played it almost all night and completed every level. I'd recommend to people who are fans of really fast-paced free-running games and the like, or Sonic fans who just want a different kind of environment. Anyway, that's it for this video. My name is Anthony from SteamFirst.com. Be sure to check out SteamFirst.com for all the best news, reviews, videos, and content revolving around all things Valve and Steam. Oh, that's a really difficult thing to say every week. And of course, if you like this video, maybe you'd like some of my others, you can find me at my blog, livestream, Twitter, all that kind of social nonsense in the links below. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time, and goodbye.